What I'm starting with here in this video is simply with a double array that is called sleep. And so what I've done is I've just tracked the number of hours of sleep I've gotten over the last 5 nights. And so you can see 5 nights ago I got 7.5 hours, the night before or after that 5.5, and 6, 7, and 5.5. Double because I have decimals. This is all just a quick review hopefully at this point. Then I used a for loop, a standard for loop, just to loop through every element in that array, and so that I could print it out and see it. So if you remember correctly, we start with a counter I because we want the index 0. Index 0 is always the first item in my array, and I need to increment I every time I do this. And we have this thing called sleep.length, because sleep is the array, and .length keeps track of how long it is. And we always are going to use less than in this control statement because we started with 0, and we will always, if my length here is 5, I want to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I do not want to include the 5. And this statement just simply prints it out. Now there is another way to do this, to cycle through or traverse through all the elements in an array, and that's called a for each loop. So it looks kind of the same, starts the same here, except this time I'm just going to simply tell the for loop to go through every element in the array, and it's technically not really using a counter. It's just going to cycle through the entire array, and it works like this. It says, okay, I have doubles in my array, so I need to say double, and I am going to just put a name here. Now a lot of times you'll see programmers put element here, and when I originally learned it I thought you were required to put the word element. But in reality, you have to remember that that's simply just a variable. You're just really just talking about a variable. So this is a for each loop that says, for every double element in the array, and the array is called sleep, I am going to output. Now, I can't do sleep I like I did before. I can't do sleep I like this before. See, I'm getting an error already, because that I counter that I had up in this previous for loop doesn't exist right now. So I can't do that. But what I want to print is I want to print the element. I want to print this element that it's reading in the array. So I'm going to put the word element right here. And now it's all good. Now when I run this class, remember it's going to print out my array here once, and then it's going to print out my array here twice, and I'll take the ln off again so I get them in a straight line. And I'll add my little spacings here, just kind of something I like to do. And I'll print them, and I should get 2 copies of my array. And if I want to see that there should be 2 lines of output, I will need to put just a simple blank output here, just so I can format it quickly. And you can see I just printed my element, or my array twice. So this is a for each loop. It says for every double element, every decimal element in the sleep array, print the element and a space. Hey, that would be one way to do it. Now the word element, like I said, tricked me the first time. I had to learn it back the first days I ever learned Java. So I wouldn't have to do it. I could call this hours, double hours, because it does represent a number of hours I got per sleep, as long as I tell it to print the hours. It's very important just to remember that it's cycling through the sleep array, and it's reading every element, and it's just calling that element hours, or element, the last time I ran it. So when I run it this way, I'm still going to get the 2 copies of my array printed just like that. That's a really short, simple for each loop right there, using a for each loop to cycle through a one-dimensional array.